have you back again. Now, do you know dust and dirt can cause allergies? Yes. Now, there is this dust mites found in dust that can actually cause you endless cold and even asthmatic attacks. Yes. So it is very, very important that you do not try to, or you do not keep your home dirty in order not to be infected with these um, allergies now caused by dirt and dust. Now, this brings us to our topic, which is what? Care of the family house. Now, you need to care for the family. When you don't care for the family house, you're going to be prone to a whole lot of dirt and dust that can cause you sinus infections that are going to be very, very harmful to the health. Now, before we proceed into the topic, we need you to understand some objectives that will guide you in, understanding what we would be discussing in the topic. Now, the first thing you would be able to know or learn is to explain reasons why we care for the home. Now, it's very important we care for the home. When you don't pay attention to the care of the home, there are a whole lot that can go wrong. Now, also you'll be able to list out the simple equipment, tools, and materials for the care of the family house. Now, the things you need to actually carry out this care that you were talking about in the home. So you get familiarized with what simple equipment, tools, and materials that you need to use in what caring for the family house. And also you would learn to describe waste disposal sites and what methods. Now, a whole lot of us do not know where to even dispose our refuse. So now, in the course of this study, you're going to be learning how and where to dispose your refuse. Now, also, you would be able to explain ways in disposing waste properly. So you know how to actually dispose waste and not just to throw them anywhere in an open space or wherever you think you find, or you can just throw your dirty anywhere. Now, you're going to learn where to dispose waste properly. Now, let's move on. Now, the family house is very, very important, and you need to put in efforts to see that it is clean. Now, it is very important that you care for the family house, because as you're there, you have to meet the needs of the family. So if you don't care for the family house, a whole lot can actually go wrong. So the family house is very important for the well-being of the family. So it needs to be healthy and conducive for family members to live in. So it's very, very important to take care of the family house, because it meets the needs of the family. Now, why do we need to take care of the family house? Reasons for the care of the family house. Now, to maintain clean appearance. Have you ever been to a house and then you get to the home and it's very beautiful, everything placed, clean, and then it's looking very fine? That's because someone actually put an effort to seeing that the place is cared for. Now, the reasons why you need to care for the family home is that you need to maintain clean appearance. Everywhere is looking clean and neat. Also, to maintain good hygiene. Hygiene is very important. Remember, I told you earlier, dust carries some meats that can actually cause you endless colds, even sinus infections. So, for your hygiene, to maintain good hygiene, you need to care for the home. You need to clean, you need to dust, you need to sweep. You don't just wake up every morning and then you're just out and then you're going for your business and without taking proper care of the home. Now, for your hygiene, you need to take care of the family house. And also, for good health, to maintain good health, very, very important. When you don't take care of the home, you find out that most persons at home, because of the dust, dirty, you find out that they're always having catarrh, they're always having cough, they're sneezing, and a whole lot of respiratory issues. This can be caused by dust, and just cleaning or caring for the family house can actually take that away. So for you to actually experience good health. Now, I saw someone talking about, a lady talking about even the effects of molds in the house. When you don't clean and water and all of that, this can actually cause ill health. So when you see these things and then you pay attention, you would actually be securing the health of every member of the family. Now, let's look at other reasons as well to make for orderliness in the house. Yes, when everything is cared for, the house is everything is placed in their correct places. Of course, the house is going to be orderly, so you won't have to start looking for these. When you want something, you go here, you pick. And also, the next reason is to prevent the spoilage of household equipment, tools, furnitures, linen, etc. Now, when you care for these things, now it won't be nice that mommy bought the mop stick, mommy bought the dusters, and then you just keep them anyhow. And the next time you want to sweep the broom, everything is scattered. Where did you keep this? I can't find it. Now, if you actually take proper care of these things, it will actually prevent them from going bad. So when you need them, you just go pick them so they stay where they are. These are one of the reasons we need to care for what our family, the house, care for the family house and the equipment as well. Also, to prevent household pests and diseases, carrying diseases carrying insects such as mosquitoes. Now, when you don't care for the house, you are prone to pest infestation. Now, they come in, they do a whole lot, because when you keep dirty out, what are you doing? You're inviting pests to come have dinner, to come eat and dine and wine in your home. So when you do not take care of these things, you are actually inviting pests. And mosquitoes too will come because they thrive in dirty areas. They thrive where there is dirty. Same thing as the dust mites, wherever is warm, dust and all of that. They thrive mostly in such environment. So when you do take care, you're doing what? Preventing them from having or making a home for themselves. Now, we will be looking at some of the equipment, tools, and materials that are necessary for cleaning the house. We'll look at some of these things. Yes, we're familiar with some of them, but we're going to look at some of them so you know what they are used for and their uses. So in the next time you're going to be using them, you would actually know what they are used for. So the first one we're looking at is brooms and brushes. Yes, now brooms are commonly made from palm fronds. Brushes are made from horse hair, vegetable fiber, or nylon. Now, this is one common tool that is used to care for the home. We use our brooms, or we use the brush, where we can stand and sweep and use the broom, which is made from palm fronds, to sweep. Now, this helps to keep the home clean. You sweep away dirt from the home. This is very important. This is one equipment or this one tool that is very important to keeping the house clean. You sweep to keep the house clean. Now, let's look at the uses of brooms and brushes. Let's look at the uses of brooms and brushes. Now, this comes in different sizes. Don't forget that brooms and brush comes in different sizes, and it depends on what you want to use them for. Now, we have short or hand brooms and long brushes, which are used for what? Sweeping the floor. Now, we're going to look at them. Now, the long one, normally just used in sweeping the house. Now, the short broom, where they have to cut, maybe you want to be specific, sweeping of rug, in those days where we have rugs, not today where everybody's going for towels and all of that. In those days where some family houses have rocks, thick rocks, where you have to sweep. You can't use the long broom to just sweep. You have to use a short hand broom to sweep the towels, the rocks properly. So now, same thing is applicable to our brush. We have the long one and we have the short one as well. Now, also, the uses of brooms and brushes is that stiff hand brushes are used for cleaning upholstery, rugs, and carpets, just like I said. Okay. Now, polishing brushes are used for polishing different surfaces. Like your shoe brush, maybe somewhere that is hard. You can use that brush to do what? To actually clean and see that that place is what? Okay for use. And also, toilet brushes are used for cleaning the water closet in our toilets. Now, very, very important. That is one of the parts that you need to pay very good attention to, because we have to sit there, and if it's not clean, we are prone to a whole lot of what? Toilet infections. Okay, so you can use the toilet brush to do what? To clean our water closet, to keep it clean. And you remember we said one of the reasons for taking care of the house is to prevent what? Sicknesses and diseases. So it's very important that you take care of these things, so we are not infected in the course of using our water closet. And also, Another way to care for our brooms and brushes is that you need to rinse them after you use. Rinse, maybe after sweeping, and then you swept some part that had some dust particles. You can actually rinse your broom. Yes, a lot of people don't know you can actually rinse your broom. You can actually rinse it, not just after use and you just keep. So you can rinse so that the dust particles and dirt that are already residing in it can go off for your next use. Now you can put it out in a dry what open air. After use, after washing, you put it out. You can dry it so it gets dry for the next use. Don't forget it's made of palm frond, so you need to, if it comes in contact with water, you have to make sure it gets dry so it will be ready for your next use. Now, after each use, shake off the pieces of dirt that may have been collected, on the broomsticks or the brush bristles. Yes, after sweeping, using your brush to sweep. Now, there are some dead particles, something like hair. I don't know if you notice it most times when you sweep, something like your hair and all of that. So you can just take them out, keep them. Then for same thing for the broom, for some of the dead particles that it would have picked, you clean them, remove them, and keep neatly for the next use. These are some of the things you need to do to care for the broom and your brush. Now let's look at another equipment tools that is used to care for the home. Now these are called dusters. Now they are normally made from soft, fluffy or lint-less cloth. Now this one helps you to get to those areas where your brooms cannot reach. So you use your dusters to clean, surfaces, to see that they are clean and neat. This one, actually, dusters are meant for dusts. They are actually used to take away dust from surfaces, household articles, equipment. Dusters are used to to actually keep the environment, equipment, tools in the house clean. Now let's look at the uses of dusters. Now they can be used dry for gathering and removing dust from surfaces. Just like I said, you can use them on your TV. They are very fluffy, they are soft. So it's very easy to use to clean surfaces, such as your table, your dining, whatever, your TV and your cabinet. You can use these dusters to remove dust from surfaces. Okay, during dry dusting, you can shake the dust outside properly from time to time. After you're done using it, you can take it out and dust out so the dust particles on the dust can actually fall off and seal off the duster for the next use. Now, how do you care for your dusters? Now, after you shake to remove loose dust, after you use your duster, make sure you shake. Don't just clean and then put them somewhere. After you're done using, make sure you do you shake up for loose dust that would have resided in them. Also, you can actually wash your dusters with soap and warm water. You can actually wash it for the next use. It's soft. You can actually wash it. And then we have different types of dusters. Now it depends on the type that you're using. So if you have the one that you can actually fold, now if you're using your napkins, it's fine. So if you don't have dusters, you can actually use your napkins to to clean. Now you can actually, after use, you can fold neatly and put them away. Now it's very important you have areas or places where you can store these tools or materials you use in cleaning. Now after that, rinse well and hand out or keep. That's for the napkins. You can keep them, dry them out. Same for the dusters. After washing, make sure you dry them off. If you do not dry them, they are going to come up with some stench that you won't like. So it's very important after you wash them, make sure you dry them so they can get dried and will still be very, very okay for the next use. Let's look at the next one. Mops. Now mop stick and the bucket. Now mop heads are made of twisted cotton yarns. Now these are attached to a long or short handle. All these are equipment or tools for caring for the family house. Now most of us use our mops. We use our mops to do after dusting, after sweeping the dirt, The next thing you're supposed to do is to mop. Mopping is what, like, finalizing or cleaning the residual dirt that I would have stayed back after sweeping and dusting. So when you mop at this point, you're actually cleaning, the thorough cleaning. So mop is one tool that is used to what, caring and keeping the house what, clean. Now, how do you care for your mop? Now, have you ever been to a place where the mop stick has been used? They've used, and then the place has a stench and it doesn't smell good. Now that's because sometimes the mop has not been properly taken care of before it was used. Now let's look at some of the ways you can actually take care of your mop. Some persons use their mop and after use they just go and drop it somewhere, and then the next day they're looking for mop and they just go and pick it. Now you need to care for the mop so it will be ready for the next use. Don't just use your mop to clean and then you drop it. No. Now wash the mop with soap after use. After you use your mop, let's say you mopped the house or something spilled and then you use the mop, make sure you wash the mop after use so it doesn't leave any form of stench. Because if you do not, the next time you're going to be using it, you won't like what you'll be perceiving. Now, you can also rinse out in clean water after using it. Now, place upright in the sun to dry. After using it, I see a lot of people after using their mop, they just put it down this way. Now, that's very wrong. After using your mop, make sure you what? Place it up and dry it. You what? You place the mop up so it can dry properly. Now wash mop pail and then what, dry in the sun. That's the bucket you use in mopping. You know, it comes with the mop stick and the bucket. So you wash that one to throw away the water that you used to mop and then dry it as well for the next use. Now sweeping and dusting. Now when you talk about cleaning, it's the process of removing dust, dirt, tarnishes, stains, other foreign materials from articles and surfaces. Now cleaning entails you to do what? To remove dust, dirt, tarnishes, stains, whatever it is from what household what articles and surfaces. When you're cleaning, you're actually ensuring that everything is clean, neat for and safe for what, the house or the family. Now cleaning entails all of these processes. When you're taking out dirt, sweeping out dirt, taking dust away, whatever stain or any foreign thing that doesn't look good. Now this is what cleaning is referred to. Now let's look at dust. Now we find dust around us every day. Now dust is something that you can't even explain how they come. Now every day as you sweep the house, as you sweep every day, dirts tend to form because as you sweep, they tend to reside in every part or there's some surfaces in the house. Now dust is fine, dry, loose particle blown about by air. It often contains powdered earth, dry vegetable and animal matter and bacteria. Now it goes out to be infectious. Now there's this thing called dust mites, okay, that it carries. Now when people inhale a whole lot of that, you find out that that's why most times now this dust can be very, very common in some season. Now you have to find ways toward covering your nose so you don't always get so much in contact with it. Now it's very important to, when you're cleaning and sweeping, for you to do what, cover your nose so you do not keep inhaling what, these dust particles into your system, which is not so good. It can be harmful to the body. Now this dust is what it is sometimes carried by the air, or sometimes when we sweep our homes every day, you just find them, you pick a surface and you touch it and then you find dust on your hands when you touch a surface. Now dust is something that you need to see that every day in your home. If you're not doing it weekly, you're not cleaning weekly, you're not cleaning daily, you should at least ensure you clean your home weekly to actually take this dust away from the home so you do not get constant sneezing, catarrh and all of that. You may just be wondering what is the cause of this. Just try and clean, and then you find out that you're going to be what? Okay. Now, what are the characteristics of dusts? Now, it is light and settles readily in any surface. It's not invited. You don't have to invite it. It just settles there. Now, when you're sweeping or whatever you're doing, it just settles on a surface. Now, it will adhere or fix to any damp surface. Now, when something is damp, wet a little bit, it will stay there. And then when you touch it, the combination is sometimes disgusting to behold and to look at. Now, it is easy to remove on smooth surface than on a rough surface. Yes. Now, when a surface is clean and plain, you can actually just get your duster, get your napkins, and then clean. But when the surface is rough, you would actually be needing maybe water or an extra liquid to take off dust, because it will not be easy for you to do what, to get it out easily, or some other liquids that are very important to do what, to clean the surface. Now, let's look at dirt. Now, dirt and dust. Now, let's look at dirt. Dirt is dust that has become what? Firmly held by moisture, grease, or rough surface. Now, it is fixed dust. Now, dust and dirt are similar. They are almost the same thing now, but the difference is that dirt is dust that has become firmly held by moisture. Maybe it has come in contact with water, it is now or it came in contact with grease, something watery or oil. It now becomes dirty. You know what? When you see dirt, you can relate with what I'm saying right now. Now, dust and dirt are the same thing, but dirt is that it has come is dust that has come in contact with what? Liquid or moisture or grease. It now makes it what? Look very dirty and how do I put it? It comes together and forms something, particles that that will need you to wash off, unlike what? Dust that you can just clean off. Now, dirt will require an extra effort, like washing and then scrubbing hard to do what? To get them off a surface where they are found. Now, let's look at some general rules for weekly cleaning of the house. Now, it is very important that you clean daily. Now, but sometimes you might not really have the opportunity to actually clean daily. You can just do maybe just sweep and all of that. Now, when you have to do thorough cleaning, you can actually do it weekly. That's weekends, when you would have ample time to clean. But it's very important that if you do not achieve daily cleaning of the house, which is very important, as you wake up every day, you should at least clean the house. Now, if you're not able to do the daily cleaning of the house, then you should actually do what? Weekly cleaning of the house. Let's say you do that Fridays, Saturdays, or either Sundays to clean the house. Now, weekly cleaning should be made more thorough than daily cleaning. Now, daily cleaning, you can just sweep, you're not paying attention to what? Cleaning, dusting, and all of that. When it comes to weekend, you would have to do what? Make sure you pay attention to do what? Cleaning, dusting, and ensuring that there are no dust particles left anywhere. You must be more thorough than what you do on your daily cleaning. Now, also prepare for the work by gathering all the materials needed for cleaning. Now, cleaning can be strenuous when you do not plan or arrange yourself properly. Now, you want to sweep, you're looking for this one, you're looking for that one. Now, if you want to clean the house, make sure all your equipment are around you. Your cleaners, your soap, your detergent, whatever you're going to be using, your duster, your napkins, your mop stick, and your bucket, make sure everything is beside you. So as you start, you're going to be using them together, so you won't have to do start looking for any of the things you need to do or clean. Now, decide which part of the house to clean first and work in an orderly manner. If you don't do this, you're going to get tired. Now, you look at the house. Where am I starting from? Maybe I should start with the kitchen. And then you go to the kitchen, you clean. Or should I start with the toilets? You go to the toilet, the bathroom, you wash and all of that. So you must decide what part. Don't say, oh, I will be doing the parlor. You're running to the kitchen. You're running to the toilet. Or you're going, no, you have to say, okay, I'm starting here. I'm going to go like this. You're going to put it sequentially how you intend to do what? Clean. So you will not get fagged out in the process of what cleaning, because it can be demanding and what strenuous. Now another thing is that open windows and doors to air in the room so you don't suffocate. Now these things can actually cause you to choke if you do not have enough ventilation in the home. Have you ever swept and then clean and then you feel like you're choking because I know what there are no ventilations. Now sometimes when you're sweeping places where windows are not open, you just have to go get the door open so you don't get choked and you don't suffocate. Whenever you're cleaning and sweeping, it is best advised that you do what? Open up the windows, open up the doors, so as you're doing that, air can be going out and then you do not get what? Choked up and even carry some illness that would not be good for the body. So it's advised that you open windows and doors to air whenever you are cleaning. Now let's look at disposal of household waste. Now if you live in Nigeria, you find out that one of the things that are of concern is the way people dispose their refuse. My God, it is so very alarming. You see people just put dirt, you're passing in places where they are not authorized to do what? To throw dirt. Now, disposal of household waste. Now, families will consume different goods and services, and in the process of consuming these goods and services, waste products would always what? Come out. Yes, okay, we will generate waste products such as what? Green leaves, waste food, pieces of paper, empty tins, empty cans, empty bottles, pieces of clothes, etc., etc. Because we are in daily use of these things, so we would actually generate what? Waste. So now the thing is that how do we dispose of these waste and refuse that we make on a daily basis? Now, waste disposal sites. Now, there are places, centers, or spots approved by relevant government authorities for household and individuals to do what? To dispose their waste. Now, if you live in a state whereby the government says, okay, it's by 6, everybody go and throw your dirt in this place where everybody goes out by 6, or they say 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. Now, relevant government authorities usually give people this to do that. Now, but the alarming thing is that most people do not even do this. They do not dispose where it has been said, go and dispose your waste. In this designed or centers where you should actually dispose your refuse, they don't do it. What they do is that they do dispose their refuses in places where it is unspeakable, such as what? Their gutters. You find people dumping refuses in gutters, which is not good. Now, what this can do is that it will block a whole lot of things, and even people living around that area can be infected with what diseases and sickness that you can't even fathom or know what the causes are. Now, you see people dumping refuse along the highway. People are traveling, people are just dumping refuses, and that place, as you pass it, you can't even comprehend the smell. Now, also, people dump refuses in any open space they see. We see that a lot. As soon as they see an open space, before you know, people are already dumping refuse there, and it turns to something else. Now, people also dump refuses in front of their houses. They just find a spot and they just begin to drop what? Refuses. And also another place where it is not designed for people to throw dispose waste is inside streams. And then people just keep disposing that which is what? Harmful to human health. Okay, now let's look at methods of waste disposal. Now this method of disposal is determined by the type of waste and the facilities available to the household. Now it depends on the type of waste that the family generates now that will be applicable to this method of waste disposal. Now the first method we have here is burying. Yes, in those days families can actually bury their waste. They just dig up a space or a corner in their homes and then they keep disposing their waste into that place. That's why sometimes, when we're growing up, then when you get to an environment, you just find out that as you're digging up, you're seeing waterproof, some things that are, so it's assumed that the persons living there were actually burying their waste product. So this is one method you can actually dispose your waste, by burying. And over time, when that place is full, you can now cover and then move on to another place, dig up and do what? Start stocking again. Now another one is burning. Yes, we can actually burn our waste when after use. Maybe you keep them for a period of time and then you put them, set them on flame. Even in government sites where they have actually say disposed refugees. At least I passed in some of these areas. I see them burn the waste. So this way, as you keep burning, they do what they keep reducing. So you can actually burn your waste to actually dispose, as a way of disposing them. So you can burn your waste. Now another thing is feeding animals. You can actually use this waste products to feed animals. Yes, in those days you don't throw away some of the peels of banana, peels of plantain, peels of vegetables, and all of these peels. You just pack all of them and then you give it to feed the animals. So it's another way of waste disposal. Rather than just throwing it away and all of that, you can actually use it to feed the animals, and then they live okay and they are okay. So now for persons that have animals around, such as goats, dogs, and all of these other animals, chickens and all of that, you can actually use some of the waste product that is generated by the family to do to feed these animals that we have in our homes. Now another one is making compost. Now this is more or less like used for fertilizer. Now when you have your waste, now I've seen where plantain, where you plant plantain and then use waste, people keep throwing dirt there, even for places where you want to plant. Now you can actually use waste, this method of making compost, to actually to dispose of your waste. You can actually leave them and then use them as fertilizer, use them as manure for the soil to keep it healthy, so it can do make crops grow faster and healthy. Now these are some of the methods of waste disposal. There are a whole lot of waste disposers today. Now people talk about recycling. You can actually recycle some of this waste that we have at home. You can actually turn them into something that is creative, something that you can actually use to do something else, like our tins and our cans, bottles. Today I see people, they go as far as, they pick them and they shred them and create something out of it. So today in modern times, you can actually recycle some of this waste rather than just keep throwing them away. You can think of ideas to do to create them into household items, and make them still useful for the family to use. Now let's go to our exam guide and pick some practice questions on what we have learned today. Now let's look at this question. The process of separating dirty articles according to color of fabric is called, now we have A, airing, raising, B, C, mending, D, sorting, E, steeping. Now, what is the process of separating dirty articles according to their color? Now, this process is referred to as sorting. You are sorting them, this color, that color. So the correct answer for that question is D, to sort them. You're sorting them according to their different colors. Now let's look at this question too. What is the common name given to tablecloth and napkins or serviettes? We talked about cleaning and all of that. So what is the common name given to tablecloth and napkins or serviettes? You have table mat, you have linen, you have crude sets, you have table sheets, you have cutlery. So what is the correct answer for that? Now, is it table mat? No. Is it linen? Of course, yes, it is linen. They're all referred to as what? Linen. So the correct answer is B, which is what? Linen. They're all table linens. You can use them to do what? Take care of what? Household articles. Thank you for participating in today's class. You can practice more questions using the ExamGuide app. Now, the app scores and gives a detailed explanation of all the questions at the end of your practice test. You can learn a particular topic of interest with different modes like the study mode, mock mode, and practice mode. It also has other features that make learning fun. It is a must-have for every serious student. I know you're that serious student. Now you can download the app from www.examguide.com. If you don't have it yet, please do. Now see you in our next class. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and share the videos to your friends, your family. I'm sure they'll benefit from it as well. Bye for now.